His breath brushed the back of my neck before his hand found me. And then one arm braced against the wall beside me. The other drifted down my side, slow and steady. When I leaned back into him, I didn't pull away. And I let the moment settle, silent, complete, like I had already chosen it long before. Actually, the rain outside whispered against the wide bay windows of Nora's quiet suburban home. It blurred the view, softening the world beyond the glass. Inside, everything felt still, too still, the hum of the refrigerator, the tick of the oversized wall clock, the faint echo of her own breathing. Nora stood barefoot on the cold kitchen tile, a half-filled wine glass untouched on the counter. The food delivery app still glowed on her phone screen. She'd been staring at it for 20 minutes, hovering over it not because she was hungry, but because she needed something, anything, to fill the silence. Daniel had left that morning for another work trip. No kiss goodbye, just a distracted murmur about his delayed flight as he adjusted his tie. Nora had stopped expecting more. Once, their marriage had been full of warmth and laughter. Now, their words were practical, efficient. Did you pay the bill? When's the cleaner coming? Don't forget my suit. She sighed, sipped the wine, and finally tapped, large pepperoni pizza. Not because she wanted it, but because ordering gave her a reason to connect, even if only briefly. 10 minutes later, her phone buzzed. Eli is on the way with your order. She opened the profile photo. He looked young, late 20s maybe, clean-cut, kind eyes, a slightly uneven smile that felt genuine. Something in her chest fluttered unexpectedly. When the doorbell rang, she startled. She wasn't dressed for company. Just a loose sweater slipping off one shoulder, a simple camisole beneath, worn lounge pants. But suddenly, she was aware of every small detail. Her bare feet, her unbrushed hair, the way her pulse quickened. She paused by the mirror in the hallway. She didn't look glamorous, but she didn't look invisible either. She tugged at her sweater, took a breath, and opened the door. Hey, the man said, holding out the pizza box. His voice was calm, grounded. His eyes met hers, not bold, just present. Hi, Nora replied, brushing her hair back. She didn't take the box right away. He raised an eyebrow. Everything okay? She hesitated. She hadn't planned anything, but the emptiness of the day pressed heavy on her chest. Without overthinking, she stepped back and opened the door a little wider. You can come in for a moment, if you'd like. It's raining harder now. Eli studied her face, a brief pause, as though he understood there was more beneath her words. Then he nodded once and stepped inside. The door closed with a soft click. Where should I set this? He asked. The counter's fine, she said quietly, following him. She watched the way he moved, steady, unhurried. The logo on his delivery shirt stretched faintly across his shoulders. He set the box down, then turned to her. Cash or card? She hesitated again. Neither. I don't want you to take any money. He blinked, uncertain. I don't follow. She stopped, exhaled. I'd rather just talk. If that's okay. A long pause filled the room. Then he nodded slowly, leaning against the counter. Sure. I can spare a few minutes. Nora smiled faintly, the tension in her chest easing a little. They talked, first about nothing, traffic, the weather, the way the rain made everything smell cleaner. Then, somehow, it shifted. You live alone? He asked gently. She shook her head. Married. Away a lot. Eli nodded, his eyes thoughtful. That sounds lonely. It is, she admitted softly. More than I thought it would be. He looked at her for a long moment. You seem like someone who's forgotten what quiet used to mean. Her breath caught. Maybe I have. He smiled faintly. Then maybe you just need to hear yourself again. The words struck something deep. She felt seen, truly seen, in a way that startled her. For years, she'd been the efficient wife, the quiet supporter, the invisible constant. Now, under the soft kitchen light, she was just Nora again. Eli's voice softened. When's the last time you did something just for you? She thought of unread books, abandoned hobbies, evenings spent scrolling through nothing. I don't remember, she whispered. He nodded, the corners of his mouth lifting gently. Then maybe start small. Like letting yourself feel alive again. She swallowed hard. And what does that mean? He didn't answer right away. He just looked at her, not like a stranger, but like someone who saw the person beneath all the years. Maybe it means you stop apologizing for wanting to be noticed. Her chest tightened, tears pricking at the corners of her eyes. I didn't realize how much I missed that, she said quietly. Eli's tone softened. You don't need to explain. You just need to stop pretending it doesn't matter. For a long while, they stood in silence. The rain filled the spaces between them. Can I tell you something? She asked finally. Of course. Sometimes, Nora said, her voice trembling slightly, I picture someone just seeing me. Not fixing me, not judging. Just seeing me. Eli's eyes didn't waver. And if someone did? I think I'd remember how to breathe again. He stepped closer, not invading, just near enough that she could feel his presence. Then breathe, he said softly. You don't need anyone's permission. Her tears spilled then, quiet and unforced. He didn't reach for her. He just stood there, his presence steady, letting her fall apart without shame. When she finally met his gaze again, something inside her had shifted, a soft, unspoken understanding passing between them. He exhaled slowly. You've been waiting for someone to remind you that you're still here, haven't you? She nodded. Yes. He smiled, not a grin, but something gentle, honest. Then don't wait anymore. She closed her eyes. Thank you, she whispered. He took a small step back, his voice quiet. You don't owe me that. Just promise me something, don't forget how this feels. Nora opened her eyes, meeting his gaze. I won't. He reached out then, brushing a stray strand of hair behind her ear, a gesture so simple yet so grounding it sent a quiet ache through her chest. You're beautiful, he said softly. Not because someone else says so. Because you still are. Her throat tightened. You make it sound easy to believe. Maybe it's not about believing, he murmured. Maybe it's about remembering. They stood there a little longer, neither moving, the rain still whispering outside. Finally, he looked toward the door. I should go. She nodded, though a part of her didn't want him to. Right. He picked up his jacket, pausing at the doorway. Take care of yourself, Nora. I will, she said, her voice steady this time. When the door closed behind him, the house fell silent again. But it wasn't the same silence. It wasn't empty.